We're back with another episode of the Too Legit Show, and we've got a very, very special guest. She is returning to action in 2 weeks away at UFC 257. Joanne Calderwood, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Bit tired, but we're getting on here. And I want to start by saying I've noticed on your Instagram that you've got the jukebox set up in your living room. I mean, what's your favorite song? What songs are you playing on that?
So I bought this for my fiance for his Christmas, and I just got a jukebox. Like I think remember those Now 50 and those kind of CDs. It says like your bit 50 jukebox songs, and to be honest, I'm like, geez, these are so old. I don't even know any of the songs. So I'm going off with that CD, and it's good, but I can't even tell you what those songs are. I think I got the wrong CD, or not my generation.
I mean, it's a pretty cool gift nonetheless. And speaking of gifts, I mean, I know you had the training camp, but did you have time to enjoy your holidays, or was it just straight focusing on training?
Yeah, I definitely, I kind of went hard at the start of the week and then had a day or two off. So I made sure I had a hard start of the week and then finished strong as well. So yeah, and right now, because I'm in flyweight, it's not really that much. It's not too stressful because I don't have to be worrying about my weight. So that's nice. So yeah, I got to have a really nice Christmas and then nice New Year too.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And do you feel when, because of the holidays, do you feel that training camp sort of harder in the turn of the new year, or is it just the same as usual?
Sometimes it can be harder because the gym's not as busy. But this year, everyone, like my other teammate Roxanne, she's fighting the Wednesday before me. So she's in camp, and there's a lot of girls that are fighting after us. So everyone, it just seemed to be buzzing right now, and everyone was there. And yeah, so apart from maybe sometimes that people go away for a few days, that's the biggest problem. And to be honest, it's not that much of a problem.
Now, I was going to say, before I ask my next question, I've noticed that you're wearing a Pulp Fiction top, and I'm an idiot because right next to me, I'm going to have to put this on. I've got my Pulp Fiction hat, so it would only be fitting for this interview.
Yeah,
Of
that
course,
and we didn't plan that.
yeah, exactly. Which means it's meant to be this interview clearly. I mean, I always get told off wearing hats in interviews, but this is a clear sign I have to.
Well, I've got a. I just this is bad. I just watched this like maybe the start of last year. So like my fiance, he's like big into movies, but I've never really been
Mhm.
into movies. I can hardly stay awake for 10 minutes, and he's always like, have you seen this, have you seen that, and have you seen this? And this is one of the movies, and I can't believe I've not seen it because it was a great movie. I loved it.
Did you even manage to get it? Because I feel like I had to watch it 3 times to actually understand what was going on.
Yeah, I love movies like that.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, it certainly was confusing for me, but I want to focus back onto the fight. Obviously, you're fighting in Abu Dhabi. You fought in most recently fought in the UFC Apex. Are you just like so excited to get to Dubai? Have you seen the stories? Like, how are you feeling like making your trip to Dubai?
So I was there before Fight Island,
Ah,
before the pandemic happened, and when Khabib fought Dustin actually.
ah,
So I've been
my
to the
bad.
area, yeah, and I'm really looking forward to going back because I don't have to do that 16-hour not in first class, because this time it will be in first class, and I'm really excited about that. And UFC are taking care of us with food wise. They've got the plain menu all down to a T. Uh, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going to Fight Island, but I'm disappointed that we're not allowed to go to the beach. That was my
Oh,
biggest thing. So
sucks.
because it's open to the public now, like I guess Abu Dhabi is open because they have the vaccine. We can't. We have to stay in the hotel now, so there's no going to the beach. So I'm a little bit gutted about that, but it's okay.
That
I'm
does suck.
still getting to go.
But surely you're getting used to the weather now as you're living in Vegas, you're out more on the West Coast, much different to Scotland. So surely you'll be used to the weather. Is it a bit hard to fight in hotter weather?
Yeah, that time, the last time I was like fighting in an oven. It was crazy because, and it was that kind of man-made gazebo,
Mm.
and we had little ones outside, and you had to actually walk outside to get to the arena, and you just open the door, and it's like when you open the oven, and it's just like it just hits you. So, but like I love being warm. I love the heat and that kind of thing. I feel it's good for our bodies, especially what we're doing. So yeah, I definitely prefer it here than back to what I'm used to in Scotland.
Yeah, well, I'm stuck here in London, and I know what I mean. If I've been to LA before, and I was like, I didn't bring back the weather with me, unfortunately.
Well, London's always got better weather than Scotland, though. I feel every time I would go to London, I'd be like, man, it's like going to another country. Why they get the sun?
I know. I guess we're lucky, but before I get into your talk about your fight with Jessica, I want to look at your career, and I've got to say you've got one of them, and me personally, one of the best nicknames. Bad Mofo Jojo, and I want to know your career so far. What's your most bad Mofo moment for you?
For like fight wise, or
Yeah,
just
just fight wise in general.
uh I want to say fight the first time UFC came to Scotland. I feel like that was a kind of badass moment because the first, I can't remember how long into the round, but Courtney, the girl I fought, hit me with a right hand, and I was like so like still in the moment of, oh my gosh, they're going to take the roof off of the hydro, and I was like, oh shit, oh, I'm actually in a fight. I get hit, and I woke up like kind of on the cage, and I was like, wait a minute, are we not supposed to touch gloves? I had missed that whole that whole moment because I was two in the moment, and she hit me with this awesome right hand. And then so afterwards, I just felt like it was just one of those fights that I just threw a maddie, and I was just like not caring, didn't care what happened to me, and just the whole crowd was behind me. And for me, it's like I'm like, yeah. And there was some moments where she's hit me, and I really didn't care. And I love being in that kind of mind frame. So yeah, I've looking in, we got fight of the night that time, so it must have been an awesome night.
I mean, it must be crazy fighting in Scotland, especially if you're Scottish, because I was recently watching an interview with Darren Till saying that his first professional fight was actually in Scotland. And he was like, oh, the crowd's crazy. Like, I felt like they were going to kill me after I won. So it must be an electric experience.
Dude, even when this like Scottish people message me, I'm like, it's just different. It's just like, oh yes, we've just got it. This energy that can get you through anything.
Exactly. And if there's any one thing, do you miss like a proper certain thing about Scotland that you just don't feel in living in Vegas?
Definitely family
Mm.
first, and that's no brainer. And second, a chippy. I love chippies,
Of course, I
but
love.
it's probably good that that's back in Scotland and away from me, because that would definitely make my
Yeah.
weight cut hard.
I mean, what do you put on the chips though? Is it cheese and gravy or just well vinegar? What do you put on them?
Salt and vinegar, curry. The Yeah, I like gravy. I like it all. I love it. Oh
I love
geez,
it.
now I'm just gonna be starving for
I'm
a
sorry.
chippy.
I'm sorry. I've put you up to it. No, for me, I've recently gone to it. Gravy, cheese chips and gravy. Can't beat it.
Amazing, right?
Yeah,
I
but
loved chips, cheese, and doner meat. That used to always be my like after we would party. That would be my go-to.
that's making me hungry here. But
I know.
obviously, we're 2 weeks out. But do you think your weight cut sort of starts as soon as you get on the plane, or when will it officially start for you?
So it's good that I'm going out so early, and that's the only reason for that is because teammates fighting 3 days before, so we all want to go as a team. But it'll be good to see what my weight does with traveling, because traveling can affect your weight cut. But right now I'm sitting perfect, and I'll see what, like I say, what travel does to it. But I'm not worried. The only thing for me worrying is that I go too early, because I'm going 2 weeks early. So I need to remember, this isn't fight camp, this isn't fight week. So I have to hold off another week before it's like you could start to cut everything out. So I just need to remind myself, because I've never went so far out before a fight.
And looking at your opponent, Jessica Evil, I mean, she's very well rounded. Is there anything you focus specifically in this training camp to fight her?
Yeah, but that would be telling the world, because I'm sure the whole world is going to watch your interview.
I hope so. I hope so. And obviously, you know, in your previous fight, you were in the meant to fight Valentina Shevchenko. You took a fight. Did you think a win over Jessica puts you immediately straight back in the title contention picture?
For sure, especially this division that's kind of like up in the air right now. Obviously, I feel that Lauren Murphy and Jessica Andrade, I think those girls are probably going to get the title shot, but you just never know, especially with the pandemic going on right now. You just have to be ready for anything, and definitely feel like a win would put me in place for that opportunity if it did come up. If not, I'm quite happy to stay active and get another win.
I mean, I think it certainly helps that you're in America now, because obviously the UK is completely locked down. So I think being in America certainly aids your chances of fighting more and hopefully getting that title shot again.
Yeah, it's so sad that you guys, feels terrible for you guys. But yeah, for me, I'm glad that I'm here. Obviously, I'm a little bit sad that my family can't like come to my fight or come and visit me before or after. So, but you know what? This is just a short time. This is gonna pass. So.
And obviously you're fighting on a great cause. So do you think, are you allowed to stick around after your fight happens, or what are sort of the rules and regulations going into and after your fight?
Yeah, we're straight back. We're straight back
Oh,
to Las
really?
Vegas. So yeah, we'll jump in the plane back here, and that's kind of like a fight week anyway. Usually, you don't really get time to explore it. If you want to take those couple of days, you kind of have to arrange that on your own. But yeah, so but you know what? Like I said, I've already been there, and we actually got to see what Yas Island was all about. Although I didn't get to ride the Ferrari
Oh,
ride, but I would like to do that and go to the desert with ride those camels and that kind of thing. But you know what? I'll be good to come back and just get back in the gym and
I mean,
hopefully be on to the next one.
exactly. And before we get on to talking about the next one, you might have dodged a bullet with riding camels, because I've heard they're the most uncomfortable things to ride. You can proper feel the hump swaying side to side when you're on them. I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
All right. I'll cross that off.
just the beach. It's just the beach for next time. That's all you got to
Yep.
remember. But
Yep.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, especially because you have a fight in 2 weeks. But because 2020 was so harrowed by the pandemic, do you think you want to fight as much as possible this year?
Yep. And I like last year I drove myself crazy, like not fighting and maybe fighting for the biggest fight of my career and then not, and then taking that risk. And I really just want to get back to my goal of staying active, and I know the rest will come, and enjoy the journey as I go, because it's been a lot of ups and downs, but I just need to get back to being happy at staying active, and we're in a great sport right now that we
Mhm.
can do that.
Do you think that 2020 was such a bad year? It's kind of, you've got over that mental hump, and you think you've just got. Do you feel that you sort of have a fresh new mindset going into this year, that I can do anything?
Yeah, like we survived 2020, so we can. I don't want to say survive anything, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
worse things that it could happen. But yeah, just trying to stay like positive and, you know, happy and grateful for what we have been through, and that, like I said, it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, I'm ready for this next fight. Obviously, coming in after a loss, you're always dying to get in there, but you're also, after a win, you're the exact same. So yeah, I'm just grateful for the spot that I am at right now.
Nice. And obviously, last couple few questions, but could you give me a prediction for your fight against Jessica?
Win no matter what, go in there, see what she brings to the table, and yeah, just when I'm thinking about the fight, I'm just in my mind frame as just getting a win no matter what, whatever she gives me, you know, wherever it goes. And that's a cliche answer, but that's where my mind is right now, just getting that win because it's really important to me.
Yeah, good. I love to hear that. And somewhat sort of a different questions. I tried to ask different questions on this, and I was recently discussing, you know, with people on the show that if the UFC were to have a fight night in Rome in the Colosseum, that would be quite an interesting concept. And what I want to know is, let's say we're 2000 years back in the past, if you had to fight in the Colosseum and you would have one weapon of choice, what would that be and why?
Hmm. One weapon. You know what? I'm pretty good with a bow and arrow,
Really?
but then you would need, that probably wouldn't be good for that arena because
Depends who
let's
you're
go with,
fighting.
yeah, true. Yeah. Let's go with a switch knife, even though I'm terrible with them. I feel like as soon as I've got it out, I can do damage. It's whether I do damage to my thumb when I'm opening it or closing it, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, I can shank them.
That's
Good
certainly
old.
that's an interesting answer. That, I mean, as long as you hope they don't bring out the wild animals, then I think you'll be fine with a switch knife.
Yeah.
And I have to know, final question, as you are from Scotland, so you could be the neutral in this. If you had to pick one country you prefer out of England and Wales, what country is it?
You know what? I've never been to Wales.
Really?
So yeah, it's definitely a place I would like to go to. And I know a couple of people from it, but I feel like, so I have to say England because, but I will answer that once I've been to Wales.
Okay, well, we'll have to
If
have
I
you
do
back
get
on.
there.
Perfect. And the floor is yours. If you want to shout anything out or say your sponsors, you're more than welcome to.
No, just thank you, Zach, and I wish you all the best for this, and get some sleep. And thanks for not falling asleep on me.
It was a fun interview, and I want to say thank you to Daniel as well for setting this up.
Yeah, I'll have a word with him next time about getting you to get the English people on good times, not the biggest times.